Cheers. During the first updates, when the community chose him, the other fell. Now given a path of perpetual torment, he found no peace, and with boiling blood, he scoured the battlefront, seeking vengeance against foes who had abandoned him, and those who found the end of his subplot named him BB9E.
Greetings, fellow pedestrians, and welcome to the Ultimate BB9E guide. Now, before we're gonna get started on this little video, I have some couple of things to say about this. It's gonna be purely focused on Showdown, meaning 1v1s and 2v1s, because Showdown. This video is also going to be divided into some couple of sections, basic stats, the three main broken factors that make this little guy so overpowered, some tips and tricks because, you know, a guide. I mean, that's basically the point of a guide. And my general opinion upon this little bastard. Okay, so with all this bullshit out of the way, let's get started, right? Let's go. Well, we gotta start somewhere, and that is his base stats. BB9E has 600 health and deals 24 damage per zap animation. Now I know, this is utterly garbage for a hero, but this is really where all the bad things end. Although you can instantly forget about some things, such as his passive, back to support. I mean, like, I'm not gonna stick around for 4 health every 5 seconds, above your health cap. I mean, I'm not gonna stand around a ball for 5 minutes straight, that's no thank you. So okay, that's basically useless information, now let's get to some slightly less useless information. With the click of a button, your emo ball becomes vape ball. You start to emit smoke for 15 seconds straight, and you start to scan for local stalkers. Is there any practical use in 1v1s for this? A bit. I mean, the smoke itself is way better than Lando's bomb, so that's a plus, but other than that, it doesn't really have a use, so when you got it, you use it. Absolutely amazing for grinding in co-op, absolutely great in HVV, but fucking worthless in Showdown. Basically, charge up will give your friendlies a huge amount of ability cooldown reduction, and they will have no heat build-up. Also, you will have no stamina reduction or anything for 5 seconds. Yeah, it's not really that great. So once again, when you got it, like smoke screen, you use it. Alright, that's all the boring stuff over, now let's get to the fun. Wait, what? What? No, what do you mean star cards? No, I don't want to talk about. Jesus Christ.
What do I do?
I really don't want to talk about this one, but I kind of have to, don't I? Basically, BB9E star cards are absolutely worthless except for 2. You have self-repairs, which basically gives you a juicy 350 health regeneration. Love that. And linked up systems, which will make you deal 1 extra damage above your base damage for every 3 successful stuns you do, all the way up to max of 8. That's great, as it basically makes you go from 24 to 32, which is good for BB9E. And other cards? Well, just use anything except for the card that makes you yeet people further with Shock Spin, as it gives you increased cooldown duration, and that's really a big no-no. Like, big no-no. Why? Well, because Shock Spin is the first broken factor we're going to be talking about. Shock Spin, or as I like to call it, yeet and delete, is a very broken ability. On paper, Shock Spin will have an effect for 1 second that will yeet people away. This yeet will do 90 damage. Then, for the remaining 9 seconds, you will deal 30 damage per second. Not over time. This means you cannot even kill a hero from 600 health with it. So, what do? You do not use Shock Spin ever for damage. Instead, use it for the yeet and the delete. And there is a crap ton that Shockspin can delete. Yeah, okay, that sharp shot is very painful. Don't be intimidated by that. We can simply counter that with the next broken factor.
I'm so fast!
Okay, the emo ball is small. Smaller than a ketamine-fueled frog and smaller than the murderous teddy bear. Meaning that he's a very small hitbox. We can abuse the literal crap out of that. You also get these two dodges that are extremely good and are just basically the same thing that a force user has. And they recharge even faster than that. In addition to that even, you also don't have ragdoll animations, and this goes by the way for the same as BB8. So if you're gonna get pulled by an Anakin in their lovely little combo chain, you can just simply roll away. Mobility is beautiful. However, there are some things that really fuck your mobility up, such as walls, obstacles, and saber heroes. You see, when you do a saber hero, you basically never ever want to jump. Why? Well, you can get staggered, meaning that all your mobility is going to get killed mid-air, and since people tend to be very spammy, you can die really quickly. For example here, just look, I made the same mistake. And if this were an Anakin with massive strikes on, he would be pretty much dead. So basically, rule number 2 is to never jump during saber duels. Just don't. I do it a lot, but it doesn't mean that you should do it. Okay, now we get to the true broken factor. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like you to meet BB9E stun. AKA, in my opinion, the longest stun that can be in a game. Now, I know, Chewie stun and all the other kind of stuns, they are longer. But I don't have a stun every 4 fucking seconds. If you don't know what a stun is, stuns are basically mobility killers, can cancel out a lot of abilities, and are basically the fuel for people rage quitting. They're pretty broken in the game. So why not make another list of all things BB9E stun can do? So yeah, basically every single ability. Anyway, there are still some rules that you should really apply when playing BB9E with his stun. Don't get greedy, and especially always keep a dodge or a stun at your disposal. This way you will truly master the ball and you can always get out of jail free card. I mean, you won't get hit. It's just that simple by words, but incredibly difficult to do in practice. Playing BB9E itself is going to take a lot of patience and stuff. So, don't give up on him. He won't let you down. Probably in the beginning, yes, but absolutely not when you start to know him. Then he just basically becomes an unstoppable machine. Is there anything really else to say about BB9E here? Not really. Although we can certainly sharpen these things with some lovely tips and tricks. So, let's get started with these. Going back to mobility, I figured out a little thing with BB9E and both BB8. They do this little maneuver where all your momentum is going to be reverted in the opposite direction that you're looking. Basically what you want to do is dodge and have, by the way, a sensitivity that's above 70. look around during your dodge in the direction you want to go. Then at the end of your dodge animation, press forward and jump at the same time. Voila! You just reverted your mobility instantly in the opposite direction. Now this is really good. Applying this maneuver against blasters will basically confuse them even more than they were already. So use it, it's bloody amazing. On my days playing BB9E, I have encountered a lot of 2v1s. I mean, basically people see you as a blaster hero, they think you're gonna 2v1, probably that's what happens. So get ready for that. It turns out actually that BB9E does wonders against sabers, or saber blasters. For this situation right here, we have a Ray and a Luke. What you want to do, and this goes by the way for every single 2v1 scenario, is want to assess who's the most aggressive one. However, in BB9E's case, you either want to go for the aggressive one, or one is the biggest threat to you. This means blaster heroes or a Ray, because that mount trick is going to really mess up your mobility. So, since they were both very spammy, I got a little bit lucky here. What you want to do basically is maintain your distance to a maximum and just keep on rolling. Don't stop and do not use your shock spin unless you're gonna get sandwiched. It's basically your final hope to surviving in a 2v1. Once you do get the kill, it's just a regular old 1v1. Or in this case, this boy was being very block spammy and I trolled. I hate these kind of people. Okay, this one might be a bit obvious if you didn't figure it out already. Here you go. You can actually pull off a very good combo with BB9E. You deal around 300 to 350 damage. Basically what you want to do is stun. That's your first option. You stand still and wait and maximize your damage output. As soon as you see the enemy moving, use your shock spin. 9 out of 10 times the people will be hitting you, so yeah, they go flying. Immediately cancel your shock spin and set chase. If they didn't fly that far, congratulations, you'll probably get around 350 damage, and if they didn't go that close to you, well then, there goes your combo. At this time, you already go and get your stun back up. So you get the stun off, you maximize your damage, and voila! A decent chunk of health is gone. This combo works wonders against Lukes, since their health regeneration is incredibly quick. But their health caps run back great. So yeah, fighting a Luke is a bit painful since that is gonna take a while. But with this combo you should get him down to pretty low health and probably get the kill on him. It's going to be a little bit for the new people for BB9E, but if you're 1v1ing a Ray and you're not confident in your skills of evading a mind trick, here's a little trick. Never use your shock spin in a 1v1 against a Ray. Just wait for it to mind trick you and let it come to you. Preferably what I like to do is first stun and then shock spin, but you can do it vice versa. What will basically happen is the Ray will always get yeeted away, get stunned. Hopefully she uses a dash strike as well, because that means you can even get a dash strike on cooldown. And voila, you've done a lot of damage, and you've outlasted the mind trick. Now if she does have the extended card on for her mind trick, just press the dodge button. You'll dodge backwards always. You don't even have to press any other button then. Dodge. There you go, very simple. Be careful when dueling a Kenobi. Basically, his mind trick can make sure that your shock spin cannot be cancelled. So if he doesn't fly anywhere to Brazil or something like that, you're probably going to die, as your shock spin doesn't have the damage output to kill a Kenobi. Basically in a duel, when you see a Kenobi back up, do not go for a bait with a shock spin. It can seriously turn the tides against you. It's not really going to be a tip but more of a warning. So I found out about this bug that basically fixates your shock prod to the location you were looking with when you activated your shock spin or something. I don't know how it happens, but it happens. Basically, you won't be able to deal damage if you're not looking at a certain direction, which is really annoying. And it's not going to get fixed by the developer since, unfortunately, the game is not going to be maintained. So yeah, just be careful. And as soon as I find a solution, I'll notify you. And there you have it, the ultimate BB9E guide. Now, playing BB9E itself, like I said before, is going to take a lot of patience. He's unique in playstyle and is completely different than you're used to play. Basically, when you're going to start playing BB9E, I recommend you first get used to BB8. His mobility is the same, his abilities are a bit different, but he's basically the closest you can get and basically the easier variant. But don't get too close with him, since BB9E is certainly a big gamer ball himself. Now, is there anything else we have to say? A bit. I mean, basically, when you get to know him, you'll start to realize that he's definitely around top 5 in dueling. He has no really hard counters, he's damn hard to hit, and he has that one annoying stun. I mean, good luck dueling that. If you gotta experience BB9E against you, you are going to have a hard time. Now, personally, I think I could have done better with this guide. Like, my idea for this guide was to also have an in-depth section to just discuss every single hero that you can face. But there was a chain of unfortunate events that I said to myself, like, no, this is too long, it's been 4 weeks, no. Big no. So what happened, my plan was to just record everything and then go with my family to France on holiday for 2 weeks. Then I would just edit and do everything that you need to do with video, and then the thing started to be corrupt. And it just got worse from there. Then after that, 2 days later, we didn't got any more servers for 5 days straight, so there was also no anything about edits or anything. And then we go home, so I sat back straight there, and literally 5 hours later, my cat decides to go full horny mode and scream 24/7 for 1 fucking week, meaning I couldn't record my voice. And that's just, at that point I gave up. I said, nope, too long. I'm probably going to make another video if people want that, about the in-depth dueling section. But yeah, I hope I don't disappoint you all that much. And certainly, BB9E, he won't disappoint you like I probably did. So go out there and keep on balling, lads.